Greetings and welcome back to Smartwatch Ticks. It's an exciting day. We are unboxing the latest from SMA. You remember the SMA-TIME? Yeah, that was an amazing little watch. It's a kind of a one-trick pony. It would do running. That was pretty much it. But its saving grace was it had an always-on display, and it was one of the first ones. You know, the Pebble-like, only it was in color. And it came in a box that looked just like this. In fact, everything about it was just like this. But this is not the SMA-TIME. This is the SMA Q2. The Q2 is the next generation of the SMA-TIME, and it's available from Gearbest. Check the show notes down below. We'll have a buying link and coupon for you. And inside the SMA-TIME Q2, I'm getting them all mixed up, the new Q2, are all of these characteristics. It's got a full underwater IP67 rating, and it's totally waterproof, supports the vibration, phone call reminder. All of these functions are in it with the backlighting, Bluetooth, GPS, waterproof, everything. Yep. You can get notifications from your phone over all of these different services. Full LCD screen, 128 by 128, and it's the memory LCD, meaning it's always on. It's brighter in the sunlight than it is outside. You can get 40 days of standby time as a result of that. And suitable for men or women, TPU band, and all of these features and languages that are supported. So let's open it up and take a look. The watch itself, like a nice fine box of chocolates. Look at this presentation. The watch itself is right here. Peel off the little cover, press the side button, and it says SMA, got to get the right reflection, and comes on with one of 2 or 3 different watch faces in here. Here's another one, and another one. And of course, there's more that you can download from the Tethering app. All right, before I finish unboxing it, I want to bring in the original. Here's the original SMA-TIME. This is the SMA-2. I've checked these guys out, and guess what? Thinking that the new Q2 is going to be an upgraded version with lots of other features, the only changes, honestly, the only changes I can find are in the buttons. It's a little bit flatter and a little oval instead of round. That's how you tell the two apart. The buttons have some markings on them, different than the SMA-TIME. Other than that, afraid to tell you, everything about it is identical. When you go into the settings, you see you have activity. You can go down and have heart rate, messages, the settings, which are all the same, your toolkit, which is exactly the same, and loop back again, where the only activity you have is run training. And when you do this, you get this screen, you can start the run, and everything works the same. And there you go. The screen times out. You can turn the light on, the backlighting, by pressing the side buttons. You can confirm to end when it's active. And there you are. So what I'm going to do for you guys is break away from this point after we look at what's in the box and give you the 2 pieces from the 2-part review that we did on this one. One about the overall general operation of the unit and the associated app, and another one that gave us some fitness data that I actually collected on the app from using this one for several days. But just tell you right now that the SMA-TIME, the SMA Q2 are basically identical with a name change and a slight cosmetic modification. I'm sad about that. I really was looking for a bump up with something like adding cycling and swimming and other features that would be really, really nice. But, you know, for an always-on screen watch that has the capability of doing your pedometer type stuff and heart rate, same heart rate sensors as far as we can tell, everything else is the same. It's still a really good watch. Good introductory watch. The manual came with it. Is exactly the same with the color really nice color display or color printing. It's got the QR code, which you can scan to download, and you're going to be seeing a lot of this SMA Care app in just a moment. And that's it. 2 pages in English, 2 pages in Chinese. The other boxes have a little punch out I think you can use to get in there. And this has the charging cable, which is your standard 4-pin magnetic coupling cable in this box. And in the other box, what do you think? Yeah, the bands, right? I wonder what color we've got. Black this time. All right. This one came with red bands. This has got black. And you can tell the bands are identical right down to the logo, the clasp, everything about them. And it's really easy to pop them off. You just slide and remove. And you could use this thing as a pocket watch. So, SMA-TIME, SMA Q2, pretty much identical watches, and here's exactly how they operate. We went to the Google Play Store, downloaded SMA Care, okay, and it shows screens like this, a main page that's going to have your exercise goal in terms of steps. You'll be able to set that. Your heart rate monitor showing your low, medium, and high, I guess, and your average on there, as well as your sleepy head. Not heard it referred to that way. Okay, if you get 8 hours and 30 minutes, you must be a sleepy head, at least by China's terms. You have this kind of a chart that should come on there too. That's your exercise record over the day, all right? And it shows you your number of steps in the increments. And look at that, it's even going to calculate whether you're sedentary, walking, or running, and accumulate that up to your goal. And that looks like it's over time. That's noon and that's midnight. Then you have this one. Sorry about the date coming on. It's part of this is just screenshots here. Your heart rate tracking, which is really cool. And you can set the increment like every half hour, I think, or hour. We're going to see that when we turn the watch on. And your resting heart rate, plus all of the heart rate you're getting while you're working out throughout your day. And then the last one is the sleepyhead stuff, showing you when you fell asleep, when you woke up, or how long you were awake, and other information. And that was a start button on the screen that took us into the app itself, okay? Okay, the manual said we press the outside left button to turn it on, and here we go. Whoa, 1941 with dropping characters. That's pretty ominous. And then it goes dark, but look, the screen is still on. It's a reflective screen. How cool is that? And we get a couple of seconds worth of light on here, it looks like. If we press and hold, what happens? Not much of anything. If we press other buttons, oh, there we go. Okay, we're getting some watch faces. Looks like we've got 3 in here so far. That's the back button. That was a forward button. And what does this one do? Oh, okay. There's our running. It looks like it's all in Chinese right now. So we got different menu items, and then it doesn't go anymore. 3, 2, 1. Oh, we're starting some sort of a thing. And it's timing, beats per minute, and kilometers. It looks like it's a running kind of thing. Wow, interesting. I just push buttons all day. X, I don't want to save it. Is that a push button X or a push this button X? Who knows what I'm doing, huh? I don't know. It's supposed to be touch sensitive screen. All right, at this point, I think what we need to do is probably look at the app and try to get this thing tethered. It's definitely was flashing back down under there. All right, you just sit there. Let's bring up the SMA Care. Now, when I registered this, I just want to tell you it's a bit tricky. Well, it's straightforward, but You don't just like create a name and a password or put in your email address and put in a name and a password. You have to put in your phone number. And it has to send you a text message activation code, which you then put in before you can complete the registration. So you may want to consider that on buying this watch. If you buy the watch and you're going to be able to use it to tether, which is pretty much the main purpose, you're going to definitely need to be releasing your phone number as part of the deal. All right, I went ahead and set it all up. I've got it in here. As you saw in before, this is like the main screen, but we're not connected yet. So we have to add a new device. And this is the SMA Q2. Looks like they've got a band and a watch. And it's now searching for this one. And there it is. So I'm just going to touch it and pair it. And with luck, please long press the device middle button to confirm pair. Long press middle button. Okay, well that lit the screen up, so let's try it again. Long press middle button to confirm. It might be stuck in this mode of some sort that I've got to get out of first. So I'm going to press the outside button and try and turn it off. There we go. Okay. We've turned it off. Now let's try turning it back on. There it says SMA very reflectively. And now we're going to try retry. It's searching. And we're going to pair it. There we go. Now it's showing something. Now we're going to press and hold. And it says it's syncing, connected. And we are in business. And the time just changed, if you notice, to 14:45, which 2:45 is what we have on here. Again, it's a reflective screen, so I have to touch a button in order to light it up, I guess. There's one of our watch faces. Now, let's play with this for just a second. Here's the app. We have anti-loss, do not disturb, call notification, and SMS notification. And down here, we have other things, like we can set the sedentary period for monitoring your sedentariness, and repeat on what days and what your interval is. That's sweet. You can actually set times for it to go, and it skips your lunch hour, so it's not going to mess with you while you're taking your lunch nap at your desk. Nice, huh? You can set alarms right there, and you have your heart rate monitor where you can set the start time and the end times, and it's automatically set to go 24 hours. And monitor the interval. The interval it can monitor is like as frequent as every 15 minutes. So it's not a real-time monitoring watch. It's an interval monitoring watch. Got it? The real-time ones are the ones that are monitoring it all the time, and you see it changing every couple of seconds. This is going to monitor it on an interval, but it's going to be able to graph that for you too, so you can see your results. You have your alarm vibration for how many times it'll vibrate. 4, fine, I'll try that. Backlighting. Oh, I want to set this higher. I'm going to set this to 8 seconds so you guys can see what it looks like. There, now we can take a moment to take a look at things. It's got something called a smart camera. If I tap that, it says camera. It just shows a button, and if I were to point this at something and press the button, do I need to press something to see it? Probably. It was more than 8 seconds. I press a button and it takes a picture. Is that how it works? Well, that's what it's supposed to do. Anyway, something worth playing with. There, that took a picture. Okay, so it's got the smart camera thing, however that works. Here's where we can change the watch faces. And look at this! We've got a bunch of watch faces in here. Golly, what have I got already? I've got that one, and that one. So that's that one, and then that one, and that one. I like those. I'm going to try that one, and let's see what happens. Let's sync that watch face. Ooh, it's going to replace one of the other ones. Well, let's replace this one and sync. And now it's syncing and replacing that watch face. So you can only have 3 watch faces on the watch, but they can be different combinations of those three. There we go. And if I slide it, it doesn't do anything. It's not reacting, although it did say in the book that it had a touch screen. It's not really reacting to the touch. You change the watch faces here. Okay, those are the three that we've got. You can see what they are. I'm not going to run through them, but there they are on here. Wow, that's just recommending. Then there's dynamic. Oh, look at that. We've got active dynamic kind. We have pointer kind. Pointer, I guess, means analog. Definitely bright colors of digital that you can put on here. And then others. Wow. Wow. Hey, they've got quite a collection of watch faces, don't they? Nice. Which one do you want me to put on? Pick one. Back over here on the number. That one up there. All right, let's try that one. Let's sync it. And let's replace which one? That one? Okay, sync it. And now it's syncing it. I'm not going to go through all of them. Just one more to show you so you get a feel for what they're like. The backlight is on right now, and now it went off. So you see it's got the transreflective screen, which we first saw in that Amazfit watch from China. There we go. Now we've got, that is the watch face. It's 1450. Nice, in blue with white, although that shows blue and yellow. So there you go. All right. And that's all the three different watch faces, which you can change simply by pushing that button. The middle button is taking us into activity. It's switched to English, you see. I don't want to get lost in there again, so let's play with this a little bit. Then you have notification settings. This is where all of your apps that you've got, and you can turn on specific ones that you will allow the watch to receive notifications from that particular thing that you select. I'm not sure. I imagine it's going to just vibrate the watch, and I'm pretty sure the watch does not even have sound in it. It's just vibration only, which of course means is you're not going to make and receive phone calls from this watch either. It's a sports fitness band blown up into a watch. That's really what you're looking at. Anti-lost should be sending a signal, or maybe that turned it on, so if we got too far away, it'll vibrate and let you know that your watch and your phone are separated. All right. Call notification. It'll let you know. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm off camera. It'll let you know if you've got a call coming in. This is your SMS notification. It may or may not show you a text message. Fun things you get to discover when you buy it, huh? And do not disturb, I presume, makes it so it's not going to vibrate at all. All right, those are the different features. We are connected, Bluetooth there. We'd set the backlight and all that stuff. So that's all related to device. Then you've got the Me tab. Now, it's got my phone number in here, so I'm going to hide that for you. But underneath here, you have personal information, your activity goal you can set, more settings, which give you your units, imperial, the version. You can change your password, give feedback, and about us, all of that stuff. Your personal information is where you have your account, which is your phone number, and your username. Your gender, age, height, and weight, which you can put in metric or imperial. You have your activity goal, which is where you set how many steps you're going to take, and it shows you down here based on what you put in for your age and all, weight and all that other stuff, how many miles you'd need to walk and what your calories burned would be. And you just hit done, and that'll save that. And then a help screen that'll take you over here to SMAWatch.com, the help section, and there you can read all about the products that they've got. And I presume somewhere in here, get help in English or Chinese. Okay. So I'm back on the data tab, of which I don't have any because we just opened it up. But I do want to show you this. You have a calendar button up here. And you can change days, and when you change those days, it'll show you all of your information for that particular day. Pretty nice. What about a day in the future? It's smart enough to know that that hasn't happened yet. Today is right here. So you got that, and then there's this rank thing. Because you're registered, you are logged, I presume, against other people who are registered. against the number of steps that they take. And judging from the number of steps everybody's doing, it's not going to take much for you to get out there and be an award winner. A gold, silver, and bronze. Look, you don't even, if you hit 10,000 steps, you're going to be up there in contention. So look for smartwatch ticks up here once I start running around with this thing on my arm, and you'll know when I've put it away because I won't be in that area anymore. So you got your data, you got your rankings, you got all of the device information, and you got the meat. As far as those other charts that we saw earlier, I'm not sure how they come up. You might have to have some data first. Oh, I guess you just touch them. Okay, there you go. That's going to be your, which one did we touch? The steps, your activity. Oh, walking. Oh, that's your walk. Okay, I'm learning it. That's the walking. This would be running. See the running guy? And I guess when you just touch it in general, you get the ability to change it. And you probably get the cumulative. That looks like it's the running one there. Anyway, this is the times of the day. You can do weekly and you can do monthly. And you've got that information for your heart rate monitor, which, as you saw in the other one, is going to show you your high and your low and your average. And again, bad sleep. I haven't slept at all, according to this. So you have your sleep monitor information as well. And that's how you get to all of that. That looks like a little pull down thing, which means I go down like that to refresh it with the watch to update. Oh, look at that. I got 52 steps just sitting here. I love sedentary walking. That's the app. This is the device. And I don't really see where you slide to go anywhere. You press the button. It's showing I had 52 steps so far. You press it again. Now it says run training and total. Total doesn't do anything, but maybe the bottom button does. Okay, that seems to switch it to there or switch it to there. And then this probably selects it. Progress 0%. Okay, that's that. Pressing it again does nothing. What about that? That's the back button, yeah. Now if I go into run training and press it, and I hit go, now you saw that before in Chinese, we can read what it's doing. Now I started running, and I'm doing a whole thing where I'm calculating or doing my run, and beats per minute, and kilometers walked, and all of that stuff. So that's pretty cool. And this is where I can confirm to end with a check mark yes or an X no, and I'm out of it. And that, I guess, finished it. And one more, and it takes me back to here. But I don't know how to get back to the watch face. I guess just keep doing that, yeah? Okay, that's it until you're at the watch face. And the final thing is pressing the button, and should turn it off. Let's take a look at the app. Here's today. I haven't done anything with the watch today, but I'm going to take us back. You see the dots? These are the days that I actually accumulated some data on here. Let's go back to the 6th, Friday. Friday was when I was working with it, and I hadn't slept with it yet, so we're still best friends. And I get this kind of data. I have an activity goal, I have my heart rate, and again, I haven't done that yet. Let's skip ahead one day so I can go into more detail on all three of these. The 7th, here we go. I had a good night with the watch. Yeah, let's take a look at that first. When I go in here, it shows you the sleep pattern. Now, it's got it broken into groups of awake and deep sleep and light sleep. It actually calculated when I fell asleep. I didn't have to touch a button and say, I'm going to sleep now, and then, of course, not actually go to sleep. It calculated that. It calculated when I awoke. And it was, I can't tell you about fall asleep, but it was accurate when I woke up, because I remember it was before 7:30. I got up, and then I checked the data. It's like, wow, doggone, it knows. As far as awake time, I fell asleep in 13 minutes, and I slept a total of 8 hours and 13 minutes that night. This is almost good enough for a Facebook post, isn't it? I could just see waking up every morning and telling everybody that cares about me how long I slept last night and how good it was. 4 hours of really deep sleep and almost 4 hours of light sleep, and it was split this way. You see, the deep is the white areas. So I get a lot of good deep sleep, then a little bathroom break, then some more deep sleep. And then I was a little you get the drift. I don't want to go on and on, but I do want to show you that I can slide this way and go to the next night. Okay, this was the 7th. Here's the 8th. And here's the sleep information from that night. And do it again, and there's the sleep information from that night. And I can even go in here and show you a weekly total that shows overall so far for the week. And you see them divided in here from January the 1st through the 7th. I got that much purple and that much white. Yay. Everything you wanted to know about your sleep patterns. This is actually one of the more robust and well thought out and well presented synopsi of sleeping. And if you've got those the end thing where you can't sleep very good, this might be a good app for you. Put a clothespin on your nose and see if you sleep better, that kind of stuff. All right, heart rate monitor. We go into here, and I got mine set initially for every 15 minutes to take my heart rate, my pulse, and see what it looked like. And sure enough, all the way through the entire day, we got data. And you can see it's going every 15 minutes. 50s, 60s while I was asleep. You want to talk about calculating your resting heart rate? How about your sleeping heart rate, right? 3 in the morning. Got up to 76. Must have been a good dream at 5:15. And then boom, 105. I think that's an anomaly. Yeah, when you're moving around, your arm may not just catch the right moment, and you might get a strange reading or two. But obviously, from the night sleep mode to the awake day mode, my heart rate went higher. And you can see that throughout the day. And you see it in the chart. When I go back up to the chart, there I'm sleeping, there I'm awake. You get kind of an overall feel for what your heart rate is like. You're supposed to calculate your rest heart rate by kind of fasting, and they give you instructions. And then you do it, and you set that. So that's your baseline, and then this can calibrate from that baseline. I haven't done that yet. That again was the 7th. Here's the 8th. Hey, I went out and did some exercise, gang. I did a little bit here too. Honestly, I did. I had some trees that needed trimming. So there I am, trimming trees and getting a nice, decent pulse rate up here in the 130, 136 category. I wanted to test it and see if this thing really is accurate or it's just grabbing numbers out of thin air. It's really accurate. It does give you good data. And there's the overall proof of it. Okay? And then I took the watch off, I guess, on the 9th. And when I took it off, it stopped reading. So it's not giving erroneous readings anymore. It just is giving null. Very nice. Very impressed with this so far, both on the sleep and the heart rate. And as far as your activity goal, it shows you the times that, on the chart that you were walking and running and sitting. And it shows you the steps. Sedentary, I logged in 1,849 steps, probably tapping to music while working on the computer, answering all your guys' comments. Walked, and then sat, and then walked, and then sat, and walked and sat. Oh, this is sad. This is my life. No run? Okay, shoot. I got to get out and run. I really do. Yeah. Hello. All right, you've seen enough of that. Except I want to show you that you do get a weekly average steps, average calories, distance, and it's all been 9 hours and 29 minutes of really good quality, low exercise. Yeah. And of course, you can get a monthly summary as well. So you have those tabs, you have the dailies, you have all of that stuff accumulated not only in the app, but up in the cloud, because this is synced to the cloud. How do I know this? Because the watch was actually tethered to the phone I'm recording this with, which is my everyday carry-around LG G3. And I simply logged in on this one under the account I set up on that one, and it pulled all this data in. So right now the watch is still linked to this phone, but we're looking at all of the data that it accumulated on this one all the way back. So it's keeping a history. And speaking of history, the watch is supposed to actually accumulate 7 days worth of data on it before it starts dropping it off. So you don't even need to have your phone with you and do lifetime tethering. You can tether it whenever you get a chance, make that connection, transfer the data, it goes into the cloud, and you're good to go with all of your data on the watch. Now, speaking of cloud, I did want to mention something for you. Uh-oh, I think I just went back to a different date. Okay, here we go. We got the data. We got all that stuff. But what I want to do is go to the Me tab. I can't show you all my account stuff, but I'm gonna show you that I'm going to hit this log out button here, and I am confirming to log out. And it's logging me out. Okay, good. And now I'm back at the very beginning again. So when you first launch the app, remember in the unboxing video, I told you you were really in trouble because you have to sign in with your phone number and get a verification by text in order to use this app. I want to correct that on this more in-depth review to show you that there's actually a hidden little thing up here. You can say email register. And now you can register with your email address and password, and you'll get the verification code via email. That's what you're going to need to put in order to register, and then you'll be in the app. So don't worry about it if you don't want to disclose your phone number to China. It's okay. You don't have to. You can just do an email sign-in. They need something so that they can sync your watch to it, and that's what they'll be using. All right, that's the whole thing about the app. Let's get into the little device itself. The left button turns the light on and always brings you back a level until you get to the display itself, right? Now, if you press the middle button, you get into these panels, which you can go through by pushing either the up or down button, like this. It circles around and comes back. It shows you your current activity of the day on the watch, in case you want to know how many steps you've walked. All right? You press it again, it goes into your last heart rate. If you've got it on that incremental heart rate reading thing, if you want to take a heart rate, we're going to do that in a minute, we can actually go into a real-time, constantly on, constantly monitoring, accurate heart rate monitor on a transflective screen. Oh my goodness. This is really a good watch. You have your messages, and if you tap here, you can get a message or two. Okay, here's an example of one. It says, message not going through, try again. It's little writing, and it's like that. And I don't know why I got that, but when I was texting from my phone, it gave me some of these on the watch. I got 9 different messages. Some are real, some are kind of like this. But it shows you that you can see it. Unfortunately, you can't scroll it. So if you've got really long messages, you can't see much, obviously, because it's not a touch screen, you know, it's only button operated. But you can read your messages. You're not able to answer them. You should be able, I think, to dismiss them. Yeah, see, I can delete it by pressing this. And now that message is gone, okay, and it's cleared from the device. Oh, all of them are gone. All right, so make sure you check them all before you do that. And that's the message tab. Then we come to settings. You see my battery charge is right here, and that says I'm not tethered right now, I believe. And I can press in here. I have the date time option to go in and set the time or the date. You go up and down, and then you just press it to get in there, and you can set it, but we have it synchronized with the phone, right? So I don't need to do that. Pressing this goes back. We have an alarm that we can set. I start my day at 9 o'clock, and I have it beep on my arm to let me know, okay, time to stop watching the news and seeing what Trump is doing and get back to life. And you can set any kind of alarms that you want on there as well. You can also set up your do not disturb on or off. In the app, as you saw earlier, you can set up time frames where it'll go into do not disturb and it won't vibrate. It only vibrates. There's no sound out of this. So do not disturb just means it's not going to vibrate on your arm. Okay. This is where we set our units as metric or imperial. I run in imperial. The sad thing is I cannot find a way to set the time in your standard 12-hour AM and PM. It's always in 24-hour mode. So I'm really learning what 1900 is and 2200, and I never wanted to, but I like the watch so much I'm going to. I have 2 choices of languages, English and Chinese so far. So for those of you going, right now, sorry, but you're watching this in English, so I hope you can read English because it's an English watch. And then we have our device info. It's not paired. Its power is at 70%. That's a good way to check what your power level is. 40 days standby on this transreflective screen. Got it? 40 days. That is awesome. Now, I don't know if I'm doing real-time heart rate monitoring, if it's going to be like that. And I'm actually going to be doing that because I want to kind of see what the heart rate looks like over time. I'm a fickler on numbers. I like that stuff. These buttons don't do anything but light it up at that point. Nothing happens there except your back button. And then we could do a factory reset, and we can actually turn it off 2 ways, right here or by pressing and holding the button. Which way you want to go? Are we done? I mean, if we do this like that, then we cancel it or confirm here. That's how you turn the power off. I'm going to cancel it and come back out of here because we're not done looking at everything, right? We have the tools, in which case we have one tool, the stopwatch, and we can start it with the middle button, and it's going. And then we have a red stop over here, and I think this is a lap, so I can press that, and I can get a lap time. I can press it again and get another lap time. And I could just keep pressing it and pressing it. It only shows 2, but if I pause it, and I guess I cleared it. Some way you can see multiple times. Pause it. Maybe I have to stop it. I don't know. Anyway, you can see your last 2 stopwatch times, okay? And back one more. That was it for tools. We have no more tools. However, you might be able to get a firmware update, which you can do through the app, and they'll add more tools. We'll see. And activity. So we've gone through all of these. Activity, heart rate, message, settings, tools, and we're back to heart rate. So we're going to strap this on. There you go. We are in the heart rate mode. I just simply press once. It says I'm there. I press again, and it starts measuring. And now, for the life of the battery in the watch, it will sit here measuring my heart rate on a regular basis. The first few measurements I've noticed are a little off. I hope they're a little off. It takes a little while to normalize. Once it does, then you got yourself a really good working regular heart rate monitor that you can see easily outside. So if you want to do your exercise against brackets, which is something that a lot of people do to maintain a certain fitness level, you stay below your maximum but above your minimum. This watch can let you do that, not by beeping and booming and making all sorts of sounds, but by just being available for you to glance at quickly while you're jogging outside or on the treadmill or running or whatever, and see what your heart rate is. And if you're within your zone, you're cool. If you're too low, speed it up, so forth. All right? And that works all the time. It's always on. I let it run all night one night, and it's working great. And the battery is still doing fine. And yes, the little green diode thing is always on. It's always beeping at you. Or not beeping, but I mean, it's doing its thing. It's taking its measurements. Okay, that's the basic review of the SMA-TIME and the SMA Q2, which is the one we're talking about today because this is the new version that's been upgraded with basically a cosmetic change. And once again, it's available to you right now from Gearbest. Check the show notes down below and pick up a Q2 if you'd like. We hopefully have a discount coupon for you. And thanks for watching. We'll be back again with more goodies really soon. Got a whole bunch of stuff to show you.